What I really love about Lexington, Kentucky is the natural beauty and also just the friendliness of the people.
I don't think there's another place in this world that is as beautiful as Central Kentucky. We're the horse capital of the world.
This was a higher calling than an equestrian competition. This involved our love of Kentucky, involved our love of the horse, love of our heritage.
It connected you so much to this land, to the sport of kings, to the new events we were being introduced to the horse.
The Alltech 2010 World Equestrian Games were, by general consensus, the greatest World Equestrian Games ever to be held in the universe.
What an exciting finish here tonight!
We were awarded the games in Bahrain in this huge assembly of the FEI from a number of countries around the world. That was pretty special.
When we heard the announcement, we really were getting it. You sort of had to pinch yourself to think that in this beautiful sport, in the Olympics of Equestrian Games, that they would look to Kentucky as being so important. They had to bring that showcase here.
You know, it was the first time that the World Games or any event like that had ever been in the United States. So for us to be able to secure the bid to get here, it was just absolutely perfect.
Preparing for an international event of this caliber was a colossal undertaking. There was quite a bit of work that had to be done at the Kentucky Horse Park, but there was also quite a bit of work that we did throughout the city of Lexington.
The physical changes began happening immediately. Construction here at the horse park, road construction in Lexington, the beautifying of the city. We knew company was coming and we had to spruce things up.
The city of Lexington was totally involved. The idea was if we were going to have the games here, we needed to have Lexington show itself at its very best.
We spent a lot of money resurfacing roads that led to the airport, that led out here to the horse park, that were in the downtown area. And we paved, I think it was something like 2.5 acres of sidewalks. That's a lot of sidewalks. And just to have everything beautiful so that the world left saying, ooh, I want to go there. It's a beautiful place.
Public transit, Lextran really stepped up to the opportunity to improve its service, and it became a key player in getting people to and from the horse park.
There wasn't anything that was left unthought of or unprepared for. The state and city efforts got us to a point, and we just needed that hero almost to come in and carry us across the finish line, and Pierce Lyons was that.
I think Dad saw the need, he saw the need to get involved and the need for leadership, and I think that's where he took that decision, and also the fact that there was the opportunity to be a title sponsor. I think once my father had the idea in his head, there was no stopping him. He was going to achieve this.
Well, he was determined that this wasn't just about 16 days. It was about the state of Kentucky. It was about the people of Kentucky.
I don't think Alltech was simply a sponsor. I think it was really about being a partner in every sense of the word. And Dr. Lyons was the vision and the force behind that.
And that was an important component of why the World Equestrian Games, the Alltech World Equestrian Games in 2010 were the best ever.
The opening ceremonies for me, was extraordinary because of the weather we had, everything coming together, but it was really the fact that you're thinking about this moment for 4 years, and suddenly it's there. To have Everett orchestrated at such an amazing level, it was a goosebumps kind of moment for everyone.
Everett is an incredible man. He has the ability to take people and get the best out of them, and the same with an event like this.
Big projects have always appealed to me, and one of the reasons that I enjoyed working with Dr. Pierce Lyons, the founder of Alltech, was because both he and Deirdre Lyons were not afraid of big ideas. And my charge to the entire team was to dream big. I wanted to be sure to showcase the arts in Kentucky. You know, we had an orchestra of around 100 performers. We had a choir of over 400 performers, and I really tried to look at all of the different facets of our Kentucky arts community and highlight them in some way.
When Wynonna began singing My Old Kentucky Home,
Oh, the sun shines bright on my old Kentucky home.
I had goosebumps on top of goosebumps. There was nothing like it.
I remember the sun setting and just having chills, maybe a tear or two in my eye, like we are actually going to do this. We are going to pull this off, and it's going to be so good for our city and for our state.
Probably the moment I will always remember is seeing Dr. Lyons come out in an antique car with Muhammad Ali.
I'll never forget Dr. Lyons in his convertible cruising around, waving to folks. He was beaming from ear to ear.
I think one of my favorite moments was the pas de deux. We had this beautiful dancer and the horse, and it was one of the most beautiful things that I have seen. We brought from Haiti the Haitian Children's Chorus.
We had a project that kicked off when there was the earthquake in Haiti, and the main focus we had was rebuilding schools. And we already had a partnership with Professor Everett McCorvey in the UK Opera program. And so we made a link there. One of the first UK opera scholars actually went to Haiti and taught these kids how to sing. And we created the Haitian Harmony Choir.
We brought 28 kids from Haiti to the World Equestrian Games. And we brought the Haitian Children's Choir out along with the American Spiritual Ensemble. And we performed To Dream the Impossible Dream.
I think that God showed favor upon our efforts that night to have that beautiful of a sunset and having Everett sing and having all of us there. At a certain point, it becomes a gift from God and a magical gift from God.
We were able to hold the entire games at the Kentucky Horse Park, which was not normally done in any of the other venues.
Having all 8 disciplines on the same site, I think, did help people to get exposed to other disciplines they'd never seen before.
Each one of us that are horse people had an opportunity to kind of have a glimpse of what another part of the sport could be.
We took in a lot of different events with different groups of friends. We saw reining. I had never seen reining before, and it was so impressive to see those horses stop on a dime and turn, and we saw jumping. It was so much fun.
Vaulting was so much fun, whether it was an individual or pairs. It was beautiful to watch. It's gymnastics on a horse.
It was very exciting. I had never seen reining before, and that was really thrilling. We'd seen a lot of driving, and it was lovely to see it there too.
Everybody seemed to be having a good time. I think the official attendance was about 500,000, including 63,000. I believe that Alltech business partners helped bring 63,000 school children.
It was really impressive to see how people from all corners of Kentucky who'd never known anything about these equestrian events really embraced them and enjoyed themselves.
The Alltech experience was a great opportunity for Alltech, obviously, to show off what they do, but I think it helped people not only learn about Alltech, but learn about the world's food systems and the potential for new innovations in food systems.
A lot of the people that came did not necessarily know what Alltech did, so it was an opportunity to educate people about a company that had their tentacles in so many different areas to improve the lives of people all over this world.
Within the Alltech experience, we had a children's garden, and we had organic vegetables that children could pick up a piece of lettuce and eat it and talk about it and all that. Then we had the kids zone, where some of our workers here would go and talk to the children, give little talks about agriculture.
The Alltech experience was totally unique in the history of equestrian competition. And it provided, I think, a substantive level of interest for the visitors that I don't think they expected. Another example of how extraordinary it was to witness the creativity of Pierce Lyons was his enthusiasm and his idea of bringing Kentucky school children to the games.
10% of all the attendees were kids, and they were kids that were sponsored by a group that we brought together called the Commonwealth Club. And these were companies and individuals that put money forward so that we could buy tickets for kids to come in through the gates to experience all of the pavilions, particularly the Alltech pavilion that Mom designed and built, and then also experience some of the equestrian sports.
One of the great things about the games is that they had nightly concerts and events that were a real boost for Lexington.
During the games, there was lots of music, art galleries were open. It was really wonderful because a lot of people who didn't necessarily come out to the Kentucky Horse Park to see the events could go downtown.
There was a 24-hour buzz in Lexington about everything happening with Nightlife. We had guest chefs in from all over the country, James Beard Award winners who came in to present these very special meals for the VIPs and for anyone who might want to take part.
The four-night festival was just a great nightly party downtown.
We had events all the way through, and so I think all told it was over 100 different concerts. You know, it was to give a different element, a different sense of the event, have people have things to do in the evenings, and again, broaden it and make it even more inclusive.
There was an energy and an excitement that was palpable in our downtown core.
The one thing that I will always probably kind of remember, though, still is the Pierce Lyons and his influence on the games.
I think the Alltech Games became a perfect and beautiful stage for the world to see Dr. Pierce Lyons. Everything about his presence was magical.
He was the hero of the World Equestrian Games for Lexington. Plus his enthusiasm was contagious.
People have come in here and said, I've never expected this. Wow, I didn't realize that Alltech was involved in this. Wow, I didn't think I came to see algae. And seeing wow, wow, wow.
His heart and soul was in it, and he believed in it. He believed in it even before anything was done. And you know, it takes a real visionary, I think, to do that.
We wouldn't have had the World Games had it not been for Pierce Lyons and Alltech.
Ultimately, we had the ability, I think, to mobilize our team, and that played a huge role, not just in terms of the success of the games, but the success of Alltech afterwards. And if you look at the equestrian hoofprint, as we call it, of Alltech today, it's much more sizable than it was in 2010. That partnership element, I think, was a huge thing in establishing the growth trajectory of Alltech. We talked a lot about building the brand, the super brand, and that certainly was achieved mainly through the creation of the Alltech FEI World Equestrian Games.
I think the World Equestrian Games began what's been a renaissance for downtown Lexington. It is now a destination for a lot of people.
It revitalized downtown Lexington, and that's continued. It made people appreciate and want to be in downtown Lexington, which was great for the city.
It was a huge economic impact, not only our county, but our state. The number that Governor Steve Beshear gave was about $201 million over 16 days. That's pretty big.
I think the word that always comes to me when I think about that event, it's inclusion. This was about making equestrian sport, it was about making agriculture, it was about making Kentucky accessible to a much broader audience. And that's really the thing I think that is the most special about what we achieved.
It was an amazing time, and I don't think we could have made Kentucky look any better, and I think everybody went home with a wow. this is the place to go.
Kentucky didn't just host this event, they made it excellent. And that's a lesson for all of us. Don't be afraid to walk onto that world stage, but do it right.
I really don't think there's any way you can say that the games were anything but a big success, both for Kentucky, for the horse industry, and for Alltech.
It was just an opportunity to introduce the world to Kentucky, to the world of the horse, and also to all that Alltech was doing to improve this planet that we live on.
The games, the opening ceremonies, all seemed like impossible dreams for Kentucky, but I really feel like we reached that impossible start.